As we come onto our mats, it'll be in child's pose. So letting your big toes come together, sliding the hips back towards the heels, and then extending those arms towards the top of your mat as you bow your chest down. As you release your chest down to the ground, maybe wiggle so that you can create a little bit of space in between those thighs to release your frame even further down. Do your best not to force the hips back. Instead, just anchor your elbows into the mat if your hips are still really tight. And then take your time as you slide back. With your forehead down on the mat, go ahead and draw a big breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, release that breath, sighing it out. 2 more, just like that. Inhale through your nose. And then open mouth, sigh. Draw that big inhale once more. Notice how your belly can expand and perhaps even your part of your body rises as you inhale. And as you exhale, if you rose up, let yourself relax down. Let that breath go completely. Take your tongue now, lick the lips, seal them to one another, and then begin breathing in and out of your nose. As you begin breathing in and out of the nostrils, tune into the sound of the body, sound of the breath. Acknowledge thoughts that might enter, allow them to disappear. Notice the lifting or the expansion as you inhale. Notice the release as you exhale. Begin to massage the space between your eyebrows as you rock your head from side to side. Maybe leaving your right temple down for an inhale and an exhale. And then rolling over towards that left temple, staying there for an inhale and an exhale. And then returning back into a neutral spine. As you return back into that neutral spine, maybe extend those fingertips towards the top of the mat and then gently nudge the shoulders away from your ears as you hollow out your armpits. Begin to find an intention or a dedication that you'd like to work with this morning, setting something personal for yourself. It's not necessarily a goal. It's just a phrase or a word, something that brings you love, light, energy, or somewhere you can send your love, light, and energy. Whatever it is for you, just let it be authentic to your current needs, your current mood, and know that if it changes through the duration of class, that's perfectly fine. So go ahead and pull that big breath in. And as you exhale, send it all out. As you draw your next breath in, press those palms into the ground, lift your chest up a few inches, and then you'll exhale, walk your hands towards that right side of the room, leading that left hand to that top left corner, rotating your ribs on this left side towards the right. You can either stack that left palm on top of the right, or you can send your right hand to that right heel, or bring that right hand to the small of the back as you turn the gaze and rest the left temple down on the mat. Wherever you are, just let yourself decompress closer to the earth or closer onto your thighs. One more inhale here. And exhale that breath out. As you take your next breath in, extend that right arm towards the top if it's to the back. Lift the chest up, walk to the center of your mat, and then exhale, take it to that left side. Go ahead and allow yourself to mimic all those same small steps and make any additional adjustments for this particular side. Drawing your breath in fully, relaxing the abdomen as you let that breath go, turning the temple or turning that gaze to that left side so you're on your right temple. One more inhale here. And exhale here. Pressing into that right palm, extend that left hand to the top if it's to the back, walk your hands to center, and then find one more child's pose here. Allow yourself to press the chest closer to the earth or onto those thighs. Relax the hips furthermore towards the heels. And then pressing the tops of your feet into the mat, take one last breath in. Let that breath go. And then on your next inhale, begin to lift and rise your body up so that you're now on all fours. Bring those knees or the thighs closer together. Wiggle your hips from right side of the room to left side of the room. As you look over one shoulder, you can send the hip to the opposite side. So if you're looking to the right side of your shoulder, press your left hip away. And you can switch it out. It can be more fluid or it can be static, whichever feels most appropriate for you in this moment. Letting your body, letting yourself arrive emotionally, spiritually, physically on your mat. Coming back to center, we'll go ahead and tuck our toes under, and stretching the bottom of our feet, we'll roll our hips back. As we send the hips towards the heels, maybe press the palms into the mat, gripping into the finger pads, drawing a breath in. And on your exhale, you can either sink the hips a little further back or even lift the knees off the mat, or that third option, which I always give you, is rolling the little toes out to the edges of the mat. If you'd like to stay there, stay there. If you need to release somewhat on an inhale, you can roll the toes back in, or you can release the knees down to the mat or slide forward if you prefer. Exhale if you'd like, however it is that your feet feel the length, the stretch. Inhale wherever you are. You've got one more. Breathing in here, letting that breath go. The toes either roll out to the edges, the hips further back, or you're just where you're at. Inhale, roll the toes back in if you need to. Let that breath go. On your next breath in, keep your arms extended. And as you inhale, slide the weight of the body forward. Let your shoulders come over the wrist. Lift your feet off the mat, stretching your wrist. Lowering the tops of the feet down to the mat. Exhale, dome that spine, catted back. Work the weight of the body towards the back of the room. Inhale, dip your heart low, roller coaster, cow pose. Lift the chest up when you're ready. Exhale, doming that spine, sliding the hips back. Two more. Inhale for that cow pose, slithering, retracting the shoulders, keeping them together. And then on your exhale, you protract them out of the body, working the weight to the back. Inhale, roller coaster forward. Exhale, roller coaster the body back. And on that next breath in, come back into your tabletop. As you come back into that tabletop, lift your right hand off the mat. As you lift that right hand off the mat, a few circles with your wrist in each direction. And then the back of that right hand is going to come down to the mat so that your fingers point towards your right kneecap and your thumb to the left side. Work the weight of the body back. You can curl the toes under or not. A soft bend of your right elbow so that you can stretch the forearm. If you're right-handed or you work quite a bit on your computer, this will help release that. Either spreading the fingers out wide or bringing your fingers towards your thumb is an option. On your next inhale, work the weight of the body forward, release that right hand. Place the right palm down, and then we'll switch it out. Left hand lifts up, few circles. You might notice the crackles, and if you do, just own them. Back of the hand, now it's closer to your knee. Slide the weight of the body back, a soft bend of that elbow, either extending the fingers wide like a star or bringing your fingers towards your thumb. Just want to make sure that our wrists are warm as we work our way into those downward facing dogs and as we move in our practice in general. When you're ready, work the weight forward, release that left hand, place that left palm down, and now allow your fingertips to point out towards the edges of your mat so that your thumbs point towards the tops of the fingers are gripping somewhere beyond your mat. You're going to go ahead and inhale towards that right side and then exhale towards that left side. You're just getting the flexion in two different directions, kind of like our vertebrae. We're able to coil it around, or it has that flexion of front to back, side to side, and round and round. Go ahead and pause here. Now switch it out. So inhale to that left side, exhale to the right side. Just a couple of times, and it can be slow or it can be a little fast. Your breath can be a little more shallow here if you'd like it to be, or it can be really long. Go ahead and pause when you're ready, back in center, curling your toes under, work the hands back into tabletop position. If you need to squeeze the palms for any reason or the hands, go for it. Otherwise, let your thighs come close to one another, tucking the right toes under. We'll inhale, extend that left leg behind us. Flex the foot, point the toes down, keep the hip in line with the knee, draw the belly up and in, extend your right hand forward. Draw a breath in, a soft bend in your elbow, and then we'll exhale, tuck the knee towards the chest as well as the elbow. Inhale, we'll extend long. Exhale, make sure you're doming your spine and curling it up. Inhale, lifting or extending, and then exhale, last time to bring it in. On our next breath in, we'll extend the arm and the leg, let the palm drop down, Drop the toes to the back end of the mat. Side plank as we hook our right foot to the right edge and extend that left arm up. Pull the shoulder blades away or across on the body and extend and lift that left hand up. Take your left fingertips towards the tip top of the mat, creating a crescent shape as you press to the blade of your left foot. As you draw your next breath in, extend the arm back up, lift and float that left leg off the mat. Adjust the stance if you need to so that your wrist is protected versus causing any injury to the wrist or that shoulder. Point and flex your toe whenever you're ready, and then curl the heel towards your body or the knee in towards your chest. Reach back and bind if you'd like. As the shoulder blades come together, take that gaze anywhere it's comfortable for you. Be sure you're not crashing or colliding into the heel of the hand, but you're distributing that weight through your fingertips. One more inhale here. Kneecap is away from the body. Crown is reaching towards the top of the mat. Let that breath go, and then we'll inhale, release the arm, extend the leg, rotate the hand back and around, rotate the hips forward, lift that left leg up, and just a few circles in each direction. Lower that left knee down, wiggle your hips side to side, release the right wrist if you'd like to, and then come back to center. Curl the left toes under, inhale, that left leg goes back, belly draws up and in, left hand extends towards the top of your mat. Drawing an inhale here. You'll exhale, pull the elbow and the knee in. Inhale, take that long bird extension. Exhale, crunch it all in. Inhale, reaching long. And last time, exhale, crunch it in. On our next breath in, we'll extend long, releasing our hand to the mat, dropping the toes to the back end of the mat. Side plank, hooking that left foot to the left edge, extending your right arm up. Adjust your body, do what you need to with your shoulders. And then take the fingertips towards that tip top of the mat. So that right hand reaches towards the top of your mat. One more inhale here. And your exhale here. Then inhale, extend the arm up, lift and float the leg. Again, either curl the heel back, pull the knee forward, or don't bind at all. As you press firmly into the mat, it's as if you're trying to push the earth away from you. One more inhale here. Let that breath go. And then on your next inhale, release, extend your arm and your leg, your blade of your foot goes down, sweep the hand back and around, rotate those hips, lift that right leg back up, and just a few circles, 1, 2, or none, if you prefer, with that right leg, and then lowering the knee back down to the mat. All on your breath and time, tuck those toes under, lift your kneecaps off the earth, tilting them up towards the sky. Find your first downward facing dog. Begin to march or paddle your feet out. So bend that right knee as you straighten the left. And take your time as you do this. Observe what's going on with your body. Observe what's going on with your mind. Has it wandered? Are you still connected to the breath? Are you still connected to your intention or your affirmation or even a particular sound known as a mantra? Whatever it is for you, kind of readjust your thoughts so that you're present with yourself right here in this moment. Taking a full breath in, pause in stillness. Let that breath go, tilting the hips up towards the sky. So the hips reach up towards the sky, pressing the heart closer towards the thighs, relaxing the head down to the mat. One more breath here in this downward facing dog. And then let that breath go. As you take your next inhale, lift your heels up nice and high, bend those knees generously, looking forward, walk or step your feet in between your thumbs, or if you prefer, walk your hands towards the back of the mat to your feet. Exhale regardless in a forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Exhale, release and lower it back down. Separate your feet wider than hip width distance, and then grab those elbows for Ragdoll. Keep those knees bent if your hamstrings are still really tight or the back of your legs. And then instead of trying to look towards the top of your mat, begin to look in between your legs. As you look in between your legs, allow the arms to get even heavier as well as your head. Draw a breath in here. Let your breath go here. And then returning to center, your hands come down to the ground. Keep your legs the way that they are, and maybe even step them out another couple of inches. Bend the knees generously, leave your left fingertips down, straighten that right leg now, and bend that left knee and press through the blade of the left foot. Inhale, that right arm reaches up. As that right arm reaches up, it could be more like a letter T, or it could be a letter T from the ground to the sky. It's up to you. One inhale here. And then exhale, release the fingertips down and switch it out. Bend the right knee, straighten that left leg, extend that left arm up towards the sky. Open the inner thigh up so you're pressing to the blade of the little toe on that right side. One more inhale here. And then exhale, release it. This time we're going to do it a little bit faster. So bending that left knee, inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, right hand goes down, switching the leg. Forward fold here. On our next inhale, rise up halfway. Heel toe your feet all the way back towards one another, taking your time. There's no rush. A soft bend of those knees, spreading the toes wide. Inhale, reverse and rise. Circle sweep those arms to the sides, up to the sky. Let them kiss over your head. And then exhale, bring those hands into prayer and at your heart space. Lowering the fingertips just a little bit lower than you normally do. Draw a breath in and then let that breath go. On your next inhale, extend those arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, knit your ribs, anchor through the soles of your feet and pull the heads of your elbows down to shine your heart. Inhale, lift the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold the palms down to the mat. Stepping back with that right foot, taking your time as you step back with that left foot into downward facing dog. On our inhale, we'll roll into a plank pose. As we come into this plank pose, your shoulders are over your wrists. The knees can release to the mat or stay off the mat, your choice. Elbows pull in, elbows point back. As we exhale, lower all the way down. As we lower all the way down, taking your hands beyond your mat, either fingertips into the earth or distributing the weight evenly. If your back is tender, those legs go out a little wider. If your back is fine, they stay tight. Relax the glutes and then inhale, lift up for modified cobra. As you rise up for that modified cobra, imagine your collarbones wide as can be. And then exhale, lower the chest back down towards the mat. Inhale, you'll rise back up for another modified cobra. This time you have the option of staying here or lowering down, or if you prefer, take that right shoulder down to the middle, look to the left side of the room. You can gently pull that right shoulder back so that you can get into that erector. Inhale, we come back to center. And now exhale, take that left shoulder down, looking over towards that right side of the room. Gently nudge the shoulder away from the ear, taking that full belly breath in, letting that breath go. And then inhale, we'll come back to center. And exhale, we'll release the body down to the ground. Walk your hands back towards the breastbone, pull your elbows in, tuck those toes under, on or off your knees for that plank pose. To exhale, off the knees, plank pose. To exhale, downward facing dog. March or paddle your feet out, bending that right knee, straightening the left once more. And now on that next breath in, lift your right leg up towards the sky, bending the knee, stacking hip over hip. A few giant circles if you'd like with your knee in each direction, or just stack the hip. When you're ready, return to three-legged dog extension. Lift that right hamstring up towards the sky. And as you exhale, take that right knee, pull it into your chest, looking in between your thumbs. Step your foot in between the thumbs, assisted if you need to by grabbing the calf with the right hand. Dropping your left knee down to the earth, top of the left foot on the mat. Inhale, we lift it all the way up. As we rise up, adjust the stance. Imagine you're crinkling the mat. So you're pulling your right knee back and your left knee forward, pressing through the top of your left foot. And then exhale, heads of the elbows pull down for that low lunge expansion. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, palms come together, interlace those fingers, bring the hands to the back of your head. Elbows open up wide like bird wings. We'll draw a breath in. We'll gently send the right hip back, left hip forward, tilting our gaze up as we imagine we're lounging on a chair, soaking up that sun. Inhale, we'll pull the elbows back in, extend the vertebrae neutrally, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Curling your left toes, lifting your left knee. Keep it low if possible. Inhale, lifting up towards the sky with your right arm. A breath in. And then on that exhale, your fingertips release down. As your fingertips release down, walk your hands to the left edge of your mat, and Alton pose, point towards the left edge of the mat as you bow down for a wide-legged forward fold. In this wide-legged forward fold, send your hands out to your ankles or your thighs or even behind your back if you prefer. Wherever you are, enjoy the fold as you press through the blades of your little toes, stretching the outer edges or the tibialis area. One more inhale here, and that exhale here. On the next inhale, your fingertips return to the mat. You'll lift your chest up halfway. You're going to spider walk your way back to the front of the mat so that you're framing your right foot. Step that right foot back for a three-legged dog. And then inhale, three-legged push-up plank to regular push-up plank. If you'd like to honor off your knees plank, to exhale down to the ground. Inhale, we'll rise up for that baby cobra or cobra, your choice. And then exhale, you can either curl the toes under, lift the hips back up for downward facing dog, or exhale, lower your frame down, then tuck the toes, plank honor off those knees to exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. One more, let it go. Hollow out those armpits like you're putting on deodorant. And now inhale, extend and lift the left leg up towards the sky, bending the knee, stacking the hip over to that right side. As it comes towards that right side, few circles in this side now. Switch that direction out when you're ready. Come back to your three-legged dog extension, and now exhale. Bring that left knee into the body. Step that left foot between the thumbs. Adjust your stance, dropping that right knee down. You'll inhale, rise up for that low lunge. As you rise up for that low lunge, wrinkle up the mat or imagine you are, and then exhale, pull the elbow heads down. Inhale, fan your arms back up, palms kiss. Now interlace the opposite grip. So if you're used to that dominant right thumb on top of left, switch it out. Bend those elbows, the hands come to the back of the head. Once you're ready, adjust your core so that you can bring it in nice and tight. Elbows open up. Inhale, you send the weight forward as you open the heart up. One more inhale and exhale. And then inhale, elbows pull and close in as the vertebrae straightens and the arms lift up. Exhale, hands frame that front foot. Tucking the back toes, lifting your right knee. Keep the palm down. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Try to move your best with your breath. The exhale releases the palm down. Only when you're ready, you'll begin to spider walk your way into that wide-legged forward fold. So hands crawl over towards the right side. Your feet are now pointing towards that, your toes are pointing towards that left side. Full belly breath in here. Full belly breath out. As you draw your next breath in, press your fingertips into the mat. Spin your heels in, keep those toes pointed out, and then bend the knees nice and low, or sit the hips nice and low. Bend those knees generously. Bring your hands to your inner thighs before you make your way into full goddess. Adjust the stance, maybe wiggle side to side, and then from here, start to lift your chest up. Arms extend, so now you're in that goddess pose. Sink the hips low. Feel the inner thighs opening up as you slowly press through the blades of your toes. One more inhale. And exhale, then inhale, rise up for full star pose. In that full star pose, maybe float the heels off the mat. Sometimes you have to shorten your stance. Sometimes you're able to lift. One more breath in. And then exhale, bend those knees, goddess pose once more. Last inhale here. And then exhale, hands release to the inner thighs. Drop that right shoulder down, looking to the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop that left shoulder now, looking over towards your right side. Open up the thigh and release the shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, fold your fingertips down to the mat. Spin those blades so that now they're pointing towards the edges, and bow it down. As you take your next breath in, rise up. Crawl back to frame your left foot. As you crawl back to frame that left foot, step that left leg back for three-legged dog or a regular downward facing dog. Come back into your three-legged plank or regular plank, on the knees plank, your choice. We'll exhale, release the body halfway or all the way. Inhale, we'll rise up for cobra or even that upward facing dog, which means just our palms and the tops of the feet press into the earth. Work your way back into your downward facing dog as you find strength through your core, tilting those hips back up. Take a breath in, and on our exhale, we'll release our knees to the mat, working our way into that child's pose. As we come into child's pose, draw a belly breath in, and then an open mouth sigh to let it go. Two more just like that. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale to release. Expand the abdomen once more as you draw that breath in. Fill it up with all this air, this oxygen. And then exhale, sigh it out, letting it all go. As you take your next inhale, come back into tabletop position. From tabletop position, downward facing dog as we curl the toes, lift the knees, tilting the hips up towards the sky. On our next breath in, that right leg goes up towards the sky. We're going to go ahead and make our way into a flip dog or even wild thing. I'll offer both or skip it if you prefer. So bending the knees, stacking hip over hip. If it's wild thing, you can slide the weight of the body forward so that now you're almost like in a weird plank. And then you'll spin the left blade to the left side, step that right foot over towards that left edge as you extend your right arm over your head. If it's flip dog, then maybe you shorten the stance, you bend both knees, take your time as both knees point up. If you're still in wild thing, flip back over on the exhale. And if you're in three-legged dog, stay where you're at. And if you are in flip dog, return back to three-legged dog. Exhale, take that right knee, kiss your right elbow or somewhere in that vicinity. Inhale, extend the leg back. Exhale, cross it over towards that left side now. Inhale, extend it back. And then exhale the knee into your chest, lifting that left heel high, planting that right foot in between your thumbs. Leave your left fingertips down. Inhale, extend and lift that right arm up towards the sky. A full breath in here. And then exhale, release the hand down. High crescent lunge as you inhale, rise all the way up. Keep your hips low. Take that left leg, make it straight. As that left leg is straight, keep that right knee bent. Whether it's a 90-degree angle or not, it's up to you. But make sure that your knee is not beyond the ankle, that it's either in line or further back. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Inhale, lift the arms up. On your exhale, we're going to bow it down. So slowly begin to bend your left knee as you bow the weight down. Inhale, lift with strength, straightening that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee a little bit, bow it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bow it down. Stay strong through your core and your glutes. Inhale, you lift it up. As you lift it up, take a breath in. And then as we exhale, spin into your warrior two. Send that left blade to the back end of the mat, perpendicular or about an 85-degree angle. Back hand releases to the mat. Flip that right palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep that front leg angled as close to 90 as possible. And now exhale, extended side angle, forearm on the thigh. Extend and lift the left arm up towards the sky. Draw that breath in here. Try not to collapse the weight into the body. Instead, imagine you're reaching for that light bulb above. Inhale, reverse it. And now exhale, cartwheel those hands. Frame that right foot as we frame our right foot. Slide that right foot back, either downward facing dog or three-legged dog. Inhale, roll into your plank, on or off your knees. Exhale, halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath in, let that breath go. Draw that breath in fully. Let it go, sigh it out. Inhale, left leg goes up towards the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Which variation are you taking? Are you staying here? Are you coming into flip dog? Are you sliding forward and working your way into wild thing? Whichever it is, one more breath in. And then exhale, bring the hands back down, pivot the toes, return into three-legged dog extension. On your exhale, left knee sliding forward to that left elbow. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, cross it to the right. Inhale, take it back and long. And then exhale, pull it into your heart, lifting the right heel high, stepping that left foot between your thumbs. Find yourself in that peace finger mode first. And as you do, draw a breath in, extending your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, release the left hand down. Inhale, start to crinkle the mat together for strength and rise up into your high crescent lunge. Feel the back heel, right foot, have strength as that hamstring magnetizes up. One inhale here. And now exhale, bend that back leg, bow the chest down, send the arms back. It's okay if you're wobbly. I'm super wobbly. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, take it down. You can also modify by dropping the knee down. Exhale, last one. Inhale, lift it up. If you're on that knee, just lift your knee up. And when you're ready, work your way into warrior two. As you come into that warrior two, back hand down, flip that left palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Draw that breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm on your thigh. Right arm spins up and around. If you prefer to take the right hand to the top of the mat, that's fine. Just don't dump your weight on this left thigh. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame that front foot. As we frame our front foot, slide it back, either downward dog or three-legged dog. Inhale, roll into a plank. If you want to skip push-up plank, come onto your knees and then do a round of cat-cows. If you'd like to take that push-up plank, work the weight of the body forward, release the weight down. Inhale, Cobra or your upward facing dog or even Sphinx pose. And then everyone, let's go ahead and tilt those hips up for downward facing dog. Then we'll all lower our knees back down to the mat and take child's pose as we work the weight of the body back. Draw a breath in here. Let that breath go. Hopefully by now those hips are nice and open and you're able to decompress your chest onto the ground. And if not, it's okay. One more breath here. Letting it all go. As we take our next breath in, we rise back up into our tabletop. From our tabletop, lift up into downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, we'll inhale, lift the heels up towards the sky, bending those knees, looking forward, walking, stepping, or hopping in between the thumbs as we exhale for forward folds. Inhale, we'll lift it up halfway. Exhale, we'll release it all the way back down. Separate your feet as wide as you need to. Bend those knees as generous as you'd like. Lift the soles of your feet, slide your hands underneath for a little gorilla pose. Make sure that your knees are bent. Allow yourself to wiggle the frame so that you can rest comfortably between your thighs. And now pull those elbows from the left to the right side. You can wiggle side to side. Just make sure you don't lose your balance. Make sure that you are stable. That's the only requirement here. Wiggle your toes if you'd like, massaging the palms of the hands. You've got some little acupressure points. So that might feel really nice for your hands. Some people are bold and daring and they'll lift their heels up, stepping the weight on the hands. You can do it one at a time, or if you're coordinated enough, then maybe it's both. I'm pretty sure I'd tumble over, so I won't work on that. When you're ready, releasing, sliding your hands out, couple of circles with your wrists just to bring back that blood flow. Walk your feet back towards one another, and now we'll inhale, reverse and rise all the way up, sweeping those arms to the sky. Exhale, heads of the elbows will pull down, and inhale, those arms will reach up. Palms together, hands at prayer and at our heart space. Take a full inhale here, rising up tall, grounding yourself through the earth and letting that breath go. On our next inhale, circle sweep those arms up. Exhale, heads of your elbows pull down. Inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, forward fold. Take your step back with that left foot. Take your step back with that right foot, either plank or downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into that plank pose if you're not already there. From that high plank, either drop your right knee down to the mat and take side plank, or spin all 10 toes as the blades of your feet come over towards this left edge, right edge, and you open up for side plank. As you're here in the side plank, find strength between the palm all the way through the left fingertips as the hip pushes up. One more breath in, and then exhale, come back into that plank pose. If you're on your knees, lift that right knee up and then drop the left knee down. Otherwise, send the heels over to the left side and extend and reach up towards the sky. Push through your right hip up towards the sky. Anchor yourself as you align the body, the arms, all the way to the fingertips. Exhale, release and lower it down. On or off your knees. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway. Inhale, lift it up for Cobra or that upward facing dog. And then exhale, tilt it all back up for downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let that breath go. As we take our next breath in, right leg goes up. We'll bend the knee and stack the hip. If you prefer to flip, go ahead and take that spin over if you'd like. Extending the arm, lifting the heart. Exhale, pivot back when you're ready. Breath in. And now exhale, right knee to that right elbow. Inhale, right leg back. Right knee to that left elbow. Inhale, right knee back. Exhale, right knee to the chest. Step the foot in between the thumbs. Dropping that back knee down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, elbow heads pull down. Squeeze the mat together. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands will frame that front foot. Half split as we slide the weight of the body back. As we slide the weight of the body back, we lift the belly slightly off the thigh first. Reach to the crown of the head and now bow it down. If you'd like to roll the toes to one side, you can, or point or flex them, your choice. But try and let go of that attachment point or that release from the hamstring and the glute. One more inhale here and exhale here. Inhale, rise back up into that low lunge by curling the back toes, lifting that back knee. Inhale to high crescent lunge. Now we've got those dips. So if you want to modify and release your knee down to the mat, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to stay up high, that's good too. So your choice, either knee down, breath in, bend the back knee. If it's not down to the mat, bow it down. Inhale, scoop and lift up. Exhale, bow it down. On or off the knee, always your choice. Inhale, lift it up. I'm modifying for myself and for variation. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, back into that high crescent lunge to exhale, warrior two. As we come into that warrior two, back hand down, right palm flips over. We high five that back wall into that reverse warrior. Breath in here. Exhale into our extended side angle, forearm on the thigh. Sweep and extend that left arm up and maybe left fingertips to the top of the mat. If you need core work, lift the elbow off the thigh, extend both arms like you're diving for a beach volleyball or some kind of dive into the sand. One inhale here, one exhale here. Then inhale, reverse that warrior. Straighten your front leg for that triangle pose. Do your best not to push the kneecap back. Instead, pull the quad up. Reach the fingertips forward. Tick-tock when you're ready to a 6 and 12. And it's not about how low can you drop your hand. If you do that, you might drop your shoulder. It's about how open can you keep your chest. One more breath here. Let that breath go. Then inhale, bend your front knee, trace your hands back for reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands, frame that front foot. You're on the ball of the left foot. Take your hands, walk them a foot forward, drag that left leg for standing split. As you exhale, bow it down. In that standing split, magnetize or lift that back thigh up. Draw a breath in. Let that breath go. As you take your next breath in, maybe looking to the top of the mat, lifting up a centimeter or so, and then exhale, folding it down. Only when you're ready, exhale. Rise up halfway. Pull that left knee into your belly. Step that left foot as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, you'll halfway lift. Exhale, you'll fold it back down. And inhale, you'll reverse and rise, sweeping those arms up to the sky. Exhale, the elbows will pull down. Inhale, those arms will reach up. And then you'll exhale, forward fold, lowering the palms down to the mat. Step back with that left foot, step back with your right foot, plank pose or downward facing dog to then plank pose. Honor off those knees, a round or two of cat-cows or halfway or all the way down. Then inhale, halfway up or all the way up. We'll all meet in that downward facing dog. Draw a breath in. Let that breath go. On the next inhale, the left leg is fanning up. The left knee will bend. We'll stack the hips. If you're taking the flip, make your way over. And if you're not taking that flip, stay where you are in three-legged dog extension. Now, everyone, exhale, work your way back into that three-legged dog position. On the exhale, take that left knee, kiss your left elbow. Inhale, take the leg long. Exhale, cross it somewhere. It doesn't have to be all the way. Inhale, extend it long. And now exhale, knee into the chest. Right heel lifts up. Step that left foot between the thumbs. Drop the back knee down and inhale, rise up for that low lunge. Squeeze the mat, squeeze the glute. Exhale, your elbows pull down. Inhale, your arms fan up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Slide the weight back, straighten that front leg for that half split. As we take our half split, adjust the body, point or flex the toes, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of the nose. One more just like that. Only on your breath in your time. Inhale, begin to lift and rise back up into that low lunge. Now, if you want to stay here for that modification and low lunge, go ahead and stay here. Otherwise, curl your back toe, lift that back knee, inhale, high crescent lunge. So modification, stay on the knee. Non-modification, stay upright. When you're ready, exhale, bow it down, bend that back knee, bow the heart forward. Lift it up on the breath in. Lower the body down on that breath out. Inhale, straight, strong back leg as the arms go up. And last time, you'll exhale to bow it down. Inhale, we'll lift all the way up. And then everyone, warrior two. Beautiful. Back hand down, front palm flips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, your extended side angle. Make sure that you haven't allowed the thigh to collapse to the center, that it's still in line with your hip point. If you took that core challenge, both arms extend and reach towards the top of the mat. As you open your heart, pull the shoulders back. One more inhale and exhale. Then inhale, reverse that warrior. Straighten your front leg. Triangle pose. Arms are like a T. Fingertips reach forward. Soft bend of that left knee as you open your heart up and reach towards the sky with your right hand. One more breath in. And that breath out. Inhale, bend the front knee, cartwheel the hands back for reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your left foot. Spin so that you're on the ball of that right foot. Take that right foot, step it forward as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Exhale, release it down. Go ahead and leave your fingertips down to the ground. Separate your feet wider than hip width distance so that you can begin to make your way into a yogi squat. So if you need to bend those knees a little bit, start to shimmy side to side until you're able to dip the hips low enough and comfortable enough. Grab a block if you need it. As you're in this yogi squat, lift your heart up. Maybe you close your eyes here. Maybe for you, you need to sit on a block. Maybe this is intense. And so I would ask you to focus on your breath or return your thoughts to that intention. If you need a little variation this morning, an alternate option here is to just come into a wide-legged forward fold. If you need an option of strength this morning, you're welcome to lower those palms down to the mat and work your way into possibly your crow pose. So if you bring those palms down to the mat, they're still at a 90-degree angle. So think of chaturanga arms, tilt the hips up, walk the toes together is my best suggestion. As you walk the toes together, you'll extend the arms and the heart forward. So you can see the shoulders are a hair over the wrist as we start to float one toe off the ground and then the opposite toe off the ground. Then they can come back down. Another way to play is palms down, rock the weight of the body forward, press into the earth, lift one foot, drop it down, lift the opposite foot, drop it down. A trick here, if you're working on that crow, if you're looking underneath to your belly, that's where you're going. You're going to take a little somersault tumble. So look forward, almost like you're craning your neck. If you're through playing with that crow, you can work your way into child's pose. If you didn't do it, then come back into your yogi squat as you breathe in. And then release your right hand down to that right side. Use the back of that right arm to open the inner thigh. Extend and lift that left arm up if you can. Exhale, bring it down, switching it out. Inhale, that right arm fans up. Exhale, the right hand comes down. As the right hand comes down, we'll inhale, begin to lift the hips up. As we lift the hips up from that yogi squat, go ahead and wiggle the hips right side to left side. Coming back to center, heel toe your feet back towards one another. On that inhale, reverse and right. Circle sweeping those arms up to the sides, up to the sky. Full breath in, and then exhale, elbows will pull down. Inhale, fan your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, lowering the palms down to the ground. As we lower the palms down to the ground, fire toes. So begin to bend your knees. The knees do come over the toes, and that's okay until your hips drop down to the heels. Then lift your chest up. Keep those heels elevated if you can. You'll take a breath in here. In this little fire toes or this lift up, you're on the base or the ball of your foot. Some people like to keep their heels together and find that balance. Some people like to challenge themselves. So if you're one of those individuals who feels like you want to pulse and lift up and down for strength, you're welcome to. Others prefer to open the inner thighs up, release the palms down, and bow the chest. So decide where you want to be. You've got just one more breath in and breath out. If you are with the inner thighs opened up in butterfly position, your hands down, you're slowly going to release the weight of the body. So your bum to the mat until you work your way into boat. And if you kerplunked, totally acceptable. In fact, that's my style, kerplunking down. As your legs extend out to the front, the toes can tap, the toes can stay elevated, the legs can be straight. You have 3 low boats and 3 high boats. That's it, and then just a little bit more. Inhale for that low boat. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, lift it up. A trick is to look somewhere between the wall and the ceiling. Last one down, last one up, and then go ahead and let yourself roll onto your back as you bring those knees either into your body or drop the feet down to the mat. Windshield wiper if you need to, or let your hands rest at your kneecaps and trace circles in the sky in each direction. Anything that you need to do for your low spine. Coming back to center, heel toe your feet back towards one another, and then setting up for bridge pose. So those palms come down. As the palms come down to our sides, we don't have to touch the heels, but if you do, that's fine too. Pressing through the soles of the feet, looking directly up towards the sky, keeping the chin away from the chest as much as you're able to. You'll inhale, lift the hips up. As you lift the hips up, one little thing I like to do is just give my hips a little additional lift or a little bump up. It allows my shoulders to come in line. And then I might be able to interlace my hands. I may even just leave them to the sides, but that's your choice. Press your hips up. Squeeze your glutes here. Squeeze those glutes. Lift up. Breath in. Your fist is reaching towards the bottom end of the mat. And then that breath out, separating the hands, lowering the back down to the mat. Arms can go anywhere they're comfortable. Legs can do anything they need to so that you can release your low spine. Work your way into a second bridge. So once more, those palms come down to your sides. Wiggle the body, do what you need to. And then on your breath in, big giant smiles, lift it up. Maybe give that little boost. And then if you'd like to, interlace the opposite grip. If you want a little challenge, anchor through the sole of your left foot. Extend that right leg up towards the sky. Maybe point the toes or trace your initial, or maybe you're like, none of that sounds enticing. And so you lower it back down immediately. Switch it out to the opposite side if you did lift. If you're still in regular bridge, continue to squeeze those glutes. Do what you need to stay strong for just one more inhale. And then you'll exhale, release, and lower down. If you have the toe up into the sky, bring that leg down. Slide your arms out from under the body. Lower the back onto the mat. Breathe in through your nose. Sigh it out. Let it go. Get another good cleansing breath in. Let that breath go how you see fit. Come back to center. You've got one last bridge. If you prefer to skip it, skip it. If you have a block and you prefer to take a restorative bridge, you can start with the base side or level 1, which is the height, the lowest, level 2, or even level 3. I usually start with 1 or 2. Today, my back feels pretty good. You usually know when your body isn't feeling right. And so if that's the case for you this morning, honor it. Do what is necessary so that you feel good. But if you're taking regular bridge, inhale, lift it up. If you're taking supported bridge, lift your hips up, slide that block or even pillow so it's supporting the sacrum. As you're supporting that sacrum and the low spine, you'll just allow the weight of your body to rest on that mat. Your knees are still bent, your arms are to the sides. You can even extend the legs long. That hits into the hip flexors. But if it's too much pressure on your low back, either your block is too high or you need to keep your knees bent. If you're in that high bridge, last breath in, and then release, lower it down. If you're on the block, lift your hips up, slide that block out, exhale, lower your back down. Do what you need to release that low spine. Coming back to center, we'll heel toe our feet back towards one another. Take your time as you gently guide that right knee in towards your body and hold onto the ankle with the left hand. Switch it out, pull that left knee in towards your body, grabbing onto the shin bone, taking that right hand to the ankle, giving it a nice little tug, a nice little gesture to come inward, release the back, and then lower the sole of the left foot down. Inhale, right leg goes up, crosses over for pigeon pose. Interlace your hands either around the hamstring or around that shin bone. Flex the right toes. Being mindful, guide the left knee in towards the body without tilting the hips up too high as you let gravity or even the back of your right arm press into that right side so that you can keep that right knee pointing out to the right edge as much as your body allows. We all are special individuals, and so sometimes one person looks slightly different than the other, and it's just because we are made special and we need to honor ourselves for where we are and who we are. I realize sometimes it's easier said than done, but you got this. Last breath in and that breath out. Letting go of the figure four. Extend and reach that right leg up towards the sky. Hands can wrap around that right hamstring. You can take a few ankle twirls in each direction. And then inhale, releasing, letting that right heel extend to the top of the mat, taking that left foot to extend as well. Arms reach over your body. Breath in, and then on that exhale, knees bend in. You can either windshield wiper them or tuck those knees in towards your chest if you prefer. On your breath in time, lower the right foot down, cross that left ankle over to the right quad for figure four on the left side. Thread it when you're ready. Make all those adjustments that you did on the right side for the left side and any additional or anything less. While you're here, revisit your affirmation, your intention, or working with your personal mantra, the sound that you hear. One last inhale here. And then that exhale will gently release the foot down to the mat and extend the left leg up, letting our hands wrap around the hamstring for a few ankle circles with that left leg or that left foot. Releasing, you'll inhale, drop that left heel towards the top of the mat, slide the right one to knee to take that big morning stretch. And then you'll exhale, slide your hands down to the hips, gently begin to bend those knees, untucking the tailbone if you'd like, and the legs go up towards the sky for a little waterfall. If you have the wall that is handy or your couch, the edge of it, or something else that anchors the body, you're welcome to use that as a base. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. If you prefer that variation with a block, just bring your body into bridge-like pose, slide the block underneath or pillows, and then extend the legs up. For some of us, legs up the wall can be difficult without the support. And for some of us, it is a very comfortable position. So the little slight tilt just helps to release any pressure. You're just here, another 2 inhales before we make our way into supine twist and then finalize our practice. If you're ready to finalize now, let yourself finalize that practice when you see fit. Lowering the legs down, removing the block if it was in the body, either knees come in or windshield wiper, cactus or to your arms, a breath in and exhale. Knees fall to the right side, arms stay extended like a letter T, or you can even trace that halo over your head. Something I recommend and suggest frequently. So if it's something you like, you're welcome to go there. Remind yourself to keep that left shoulder down on the mat. And if it's not down on the mat, then don't take your gaze over to the left. Instead, just keep looking neutrally, protecting your body at all times. Inhale, we'll return back to center. Exhale, we'll switch it out. One more big belly breath in. Letting that breath go. Inhale, bringing your legs and the gaze back to that neutral position. Giving yourself a nice hug, lifting the head if you'd like or not. And then inhale, finalize your practice in corpse pose. Decide if you'd like support for the body, a blanket for warmth, or if you're content with just extending those legs to the corners of the mat, letting those toes naturally fall open as your arms rest to your sides. You're in your own space. Take up as much of it as you possibly can. If you prefer to be curled up, that's fine too. Let's all take a collective breath together. Unanimously, we'll breathe in and then sighing it out. Soften the features of your face as you relax the jaw, come into your own natural breath, and enjoy these next moments as the gift you gave yourself this morning when you rolled that mat out and decided to practice. Release, relax, and reinvigorate the body during this time. Neither honoring your body and remaining here for a few additional inhales and exhales, or even a few additional moments. If you're ready to rise up, bring that awareness back to your space, breathing in through your nose and letting that breath go. Gentle movement as you begin to wiggle the fingers, the toes, the wrist and ankles. Letting your head rock side to side. And then finding that long body stretch. Take your arms over your head, bring your toes together, yawn if you have a yawn within you. And as you exhale, bringing yourself into a small ball, giving yourself a nice hug, and then letting go. Rolling over to the right side, resting your head on that right bicep, fetal position until you're able to rise up comfortably and find your way into a comfortable seat. As you arrive into your comfortable seat, bringing the palms into prayer and at your hands at heart center, drawing a breath in with your eyes closed if possible. You'll exhale, release the breath, bowing to yourself, the journey you've embarked upon. The divine in me salutes and honors the divine love and light in each of you. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have shared this time and this space with each of you. From my heart to yours, enjoy the day. Namaste.